What are the three things that you should do to score high in the speaking section of IELTS? This video is on that, and my name is Muhammad Abdullah and I am a trained IELTS trainer for the last 14 years. Now, one of the greatest challenges in the speaking section of IELTS is that you are going to have a face-to-face interaction. Therefore, the first basic rule is be confident. Quite often I have seen my students, they are not very confident the moment they are put in front of a person who is a little more confident than them. Do remember, when you go for a test, you are the candidate. Obviously, the amount of tension that you are going to possess is going to be more. So, you are going to be a bit tensed, and it's alright to be tensed. But because the other person, the certified examiner, is observing you, your confidence will actually result in more marks. Therefore, if nothing, act confident. This is where all the rules of positive body language reinforcement come into picture. Look into the person's eyes and speak. See to it that you are having a smile on your face. See to it that you are speaking aloud. Don't eat words, which means your diction has to be clear, and more importantly, you need to complete the complete sentences. This would be the mantra number 1. How do you improve this? The basic way of improving it is by practicing. All that you need to do, even if you don't have friends you can practice with, is to sit in front of a mirror, look at your own reflection, and then see to it that you are taking care of all these body language cues that I talked about. The second rule which I am going to talk about is speak a little more. Now, before I talk about this, let me talk about what is going to happen on the day of your speaking test. Once you walk in, your documents will be checked, and after that there will be a slight icebreaker that will take place where the certified examiner will ask a little bit about you, your family, your background. Now, this is actually the first task, so it is being evaluated, so please take it seriously. Now, in this case, this is then followed by a card that will be provided to you. On the card, a topic would be written. A few hint points will be written. These are points that you need to cover to answer the topic. And after this, 1 or 2 round-off questions could possibly be asked by the examiner. Now, in this case, once the card has been given, you will be given 1 minute to give a thought to it and then speak for a minute or 2. And following this is going to be the third task, where basis the topic that was given in the second task, a further conversation will go on. This will be a longer conversation, a to and fro one. And the whole set of 3 tasks will basically be this speaking section. So I go back to my advice number 2, where I said speak more. So how do we speak more? One of the tricks I keep telling my students is don't go to the real answer directly. For example, let us say in task number 1, I have been asked my favorite teacher. Now, quite often I see my students immediately starting by saying, my favorite teacher is Miss Kamala. Now, don't do that. Try to see if you can elaborate a little more before going to the right answer itself. For example, when I am asked, Abdullah, who is your favorite teacher, I can possibly add 1 or 2 sentences before that as prefixes. For example, I have always been a very good student. And therefore I have been lucky enough to have quite a few teachers who have loved me. But my favorite teacher was my 8th class teacher, Miss Kamala. Notice what I did. Even before reaching the answer, I have been able to speak a couple of sentences, thus exhibit my ability and my command over English. This is what I mean when I say speak a little more. This is something that you can do. All that you need to do is sit with a friend of yours and practice a little bit. And this brings me to the third important advice. Practice. The fact of the matter is, confidence can come only through practice. Unlike the other section, because here you are sitting with a person, a bit of hit in your confidence will spoil your performance. Therefore, all that you need to do is that you can probably go to the net if you don't want to buy a book, and better still, if you can buy a book, do buy a book, or have a look at the topics that have been given in Condira online platform. You can even download that and then start practicing. While you are doing so, all the 3 tasks, task 1, task 2, task 3, take care of the first 2 rules which I talked about. What were they? 1, act confident, and second, speak a little more. And this, along with the third advice which I gave you, practice, will guarantee you a high score in the speaking task of IELTS. Go ahead, try it out.